We don't have storage. Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
All right.
The codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. Are you ready?
Hey, what's going on, fans? It's that time of the week and that time of the day again. I'm back in the studio again with the siblings. I'm here with Steve and Julie. What's up, guys?
Hello.
What's up, everyone?
And we got a special guest star today, Sean. What's going on, man? Introduce yourself. Why are you here? What do you hope to accomplish here on the show?
Shit, I'm just posted up. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So let's get into it. So I wanted to ask you guys. We're gonna talk about it a little bit before, but I was like, I kind of wanted to blind react you guys.
Okay.
Did you hear what Texas said about? They addressed the abortion thing. Did you hear what they said?
No, what did they say?
So I think it was a reporter asked, how do you guys like expect to force someone who's been raped or who has pregnant from the product of incest? How are you going to force them to carry a baby to term? And they said that Texas is going to eliminate rape forever.
Really?
That rape is never going to happen in Texas, and that's their logic for it. So they're not forcing any rape victims to have any babies. It's the fact that there aren't going to be any pregnant rape victims, is what they said.
What do you think about that?
I think that's wild that they said that.
I feel like, I mean, if they think they can get it done, then I mean that's good. I mean, I guess they can eliminate it. I mean, if they're that strong, you know. No, wait, what? So you're telling me it's bad?
I don't know that it's. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't know that you could eliminate all crime and guarantee that no one ever is gonna get pregnant from a rape.
Maybe you're underestimating these Texans, bro.
These Texans, Julie, what do you think about it from a woman's perspective?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm wondering what their plan is then. Like, I'm wondering what they're gonna do. Like, how do you do that? I don't know.
How do you
I'm like-
eliminate all rapes?
Basically, eliminate a huge section of crime permanently.
I don't know.
I remember the comments were all like, "That's literally impossible."
That's
but like,
literally impossible.
well, because like I don't know, a kind of darker like what people were saying. Like, they're technically gonna force like people who are like, let's say there's like a 12-year-old who is abused by her dad and is pregnant by her. They are gonna force that to be born, which is
crazy.
Logistically is what they're like. That's what.
Why is
there's no caveats?
Why is Texas? Why is Texas so out of pocket, bro?
I don't know.
Like, what caused them to be so fucking like, nah, like don't worry, that won't happen. We're gonna just instead of making abortion legal, nah, we'll just eliminate rape.
It seems
like okay.
It seems like I don't know. I saw this cool like video about some guy talking about it, about how he was saying that that conservatives like to do that, where they find topics that they find are actually divisive, and they just cut in there and take the divisive side so they can steal votes. So like what they were saying is that a lot back in the day that they kind of saw that there was a lot of people who were actually against abortion. So what they did was that they kind of cut in there to steal like those section of voters from the Democrats so that they could get more stuff. And I thought that was interesting. And there's another thing that people were saying where that like that I don't know what to call it. Not conspiracy wise, but more like, how do you say it? Like it's not so much like a step-by-step thing. It's more of like a contemporary take, I guess, where they're saying that like they want people to have kids and be stuck in poverty because you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
You said not a conspiracy?
It's not really like a
You said that's facts?
That's facts.
Why do you think that is?
You know, capitalism. You know, capitalism needs people to go ahead and you need poverty to go ahead and keep capitalism working.
Really?
Yeah, that's basically what they say. And I just don't know how to articulate what you would call that take. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's not.
I guess I mean it's not really. Oh, it's not.
You know
a
what I mean?
conspiracy,
It's
but
not a
it's more of
conspiracy,
like,
but
I
it's
get what
more
you're
like
saying.
you know what I mean? That's what I meant. But yeah,
it's like reading between the lines, right?
But
Where
like,
it's like
what's also interesting is like in light of that, Mexico
Yeah.
made abortion completely legal, right?
legal, yeah.
They said it was unconstitutional or whatever.
Right. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I thought that was from the things that I read on that is that they were saying that because Mexico is very Catholic, like they're highly Catholic,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
fact that they were able to like pass that law, it's crazy because it's like they legit are separating church and state. Like they're not going
Yeah.
through like their own, I guess, like values of like God and like like Catholic. They're all Catholic. And I don't know, I just thought it was interesting because a lot of people were like, this is what the US is supposed to do. Like, this is how they're
Mhm.
supposed to be. Because we've always said, like, we need to separate church and state, and yet we can't do it here. And I just thought it was crazy because, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen in Mexico, like, a lot of things have been happening. Like, there have been a lot of, like, women movements going on there,
Mhm.
especially, like, with rape and, like, abortion. So they've been fighting, like a lot of women right now. They have been like having riots and like, well, marches more, on just a lot of things because
Addressing
it's
femicide
Mexico,
and
like
stuff
it's
like that.
very like machismo. And like right
That's
now they're
an issue.
trying to like get out of that. They're trying to do that as much as they can. So I just thought it was interesting that it happened there.
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, like I don't know, people were always like comparing, Mexico to like the United States and being like how
Yeah.
progressive they're getting.
Uh-huh.
But I guess it's just like a step for them.
Do you think it'll cause reverse immigration where people who are like gonna have a baby that they don't want like cross to Mexico to get abortions,
I think so.
like in Texas?
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
so. Because I mean, if you can't get it in Texas, you're gonna go somewhere else. to
Didn't
do it.
Biden say that he's going to do everything in his power to fight that?
To stop people from going to Mexico?
No, like he doesn't like what Texas did.
He did. Oh, like the
Yeah.
abortion thing? I don't know. I actually haven't looked into it.
He's taking a stance verbally that he doesn't stand by that, but I don't see any action plan coming.
I feel you. I feel you.
You know,
It's all
after
talk,
the-
bro.
Yeah,
It's
after
all
the
talk.
Supreme Court
It's for the
decision,
votes.
it's just like I'm gonna just wait here and I'm gonna just say this, but I'm not gonna take any action.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
Oh
Dude,
yeah, it's like
the recall election is coming soon. How do you
Damn.
feel about that?
Remember to vote, yeah.
Remember to vote.
It
Remember to
already
vote.
started. You can vote.
No,
Early
yeah.
voting started.
Bro,
already.
have you seen what's the guy's name? I always forget the guy that everybody doesn't want.
Maybe like
to-
Taylor or something,
Larry
right?
Elder.
Larry Elder. There we
Oh
go.
yeah, there you go.
Well, have you seen what
I was way off.
have you seen what he said about slave reparations?
No.
Or
Oh
he said
yeah.
slave owners should have got the reparations if anyone was going to get reparations.
He said
He
two.
said that?
He said
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said they both should.
He
He said the
said-
slaves
he
and
said-
the.
He said the argument is that like since slaves were a form of like property and like a form of money and like and economics, since that was taken from them, then slave owners should have got reparations, and that would have like prevented like the Civil War and stuff like that because they would have at least been compensated for their monetary loss.
Yeah, he cited
Yeah.
how Great Britain paid
Yeah.
slave owners instead of reparations to descendants of slavery.
Yeah.
I'm like, Larry Elder, you're a coon, but what I'm saying,
Damn.
do whatever you're gonna do. I'm not gonna vote for you, bro.
That's crazy though. Like, how do you even? Because I honestly total miss. Like, that's an airball opinion.
Yeah,
Like, I don't even
airball.
get how you even think of that. Like, well, because to me it also shows a lack of empathy. Like, these are like okay. Like, I understand. Like, on a technical aspect, you could say that like by law, but it doesn't make any sense. Like laws aren't like the fucking like moral ground and like the American law system doesn't like isn't also the universal laws. Like, these are people who had feelings, had families, who suffered through like this like a basically torture for like hundreds of years,
Yeah.
and like to be like nah, but like their owners, they lost money though. Like,
It goes back to what you were talking about earlier, where conservatives will pick up like quote unquote controversial topics and then like
Yeah.
choose the
To like split the
yeah.
decision and give votes.
choose
Oh,
the more
Patty with the
controversial side.
fatty jumped into the
the
On
chat,
chat
our, on our
and said-
YouTube live.
he
which
said-
by the way, blow up the chat, guys.
he said, yeah, I believe that's gonna spike. Abortions in TJ gonna spike. Patty with fatty.
Their
It's true.
username
I
is
agree with
going
you.
Crazy.
I agree. I
That's
agree.
a high level username.
And then I think like speaking of which though, with like the what is it, the recall, what did Caitlyn
Mhm.
Jenner say where she said
Oh yeah.
she
that-
agrees with the abortion thing?
Yeah, she said that she's for women's rights, but then she added that she agrees what Texas is doing.
Caitlyn Jenner has been actively against women's rights for so
Caitlyn
long.
Jenner?
Like,
How
she-
can you choose to be a woman and then be against a woman's right to choose?
That's true. I mean, well, did he technically choose? She technically choose to be a woman?
I'm just quoting what what's his name? Jeff Ross said.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something like, I'm just quoting what Joe Rogan said.
No. Oh, speaking of Joe Rogan, we have a correction, or I have a correction. So basically, he addressed the
He addressed literally the entire world, fucking like snooping into his
saying
business.
that he takes horse dewormer, and I guess what was it? CNN was putting around that he was saying that he actually is taking horse dewormer.
Did you hear CNN also changed the hue on his video where he's
Also,
adjusting
he
it?
looks sicker.
Yeah, did you hear about that? The CNN made put up the green hue to make Joe Rogan's face make him look sicker when he's adjusting it.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
somebody put like the
Wow.
side by side of the original video and the CNN video, and CNN made it look like he was sicker.
Why are they trying to make him dirty?
I think I don't know. It's interesting, and it's like
It's kind of scary in my
Yeah.
opinion because Joe Rogan said, and I mean obviously like take it with a grain of salt, you know, but like he said like the reason why CNN is coming in on him hard is because media companies get 70 to 80% of their funding from big pharma like company, and
Mm.
because Joe Rogan is like promoting an alternate like not cure but like an alternate treatment to like spending like thousands of dollars or like obviously giving them money,
Yeah.
the CNN like wants to like show like no, don't do that, like don't ever do that, like look how sick he is, like look how dumb he is, look how insane he is. He's taking horse dewormer, like he's a complete idiot. And it's like and he said that it kind of shows proof that like pharmaceutical companies kind of hate on the average Joe. Haha, I get it because his name's Joe Rogan. And like try to make people seem who have alternate ways of curing diseases seem crazy because they want all their money. I don't know if that's true, but it does kind of like it is kind of
it's
sus.
an interesting like
Take.
not conspiracy. Again, I don't
It's an
have I don't
interesting
know.
take.
Yeah. There's also that. Have you guys seen that TikTok about what is it? Roundup, the weed killer,
Yeah.
where so the people who make weed killer, they're also the people who make heart medication. And the guy,
Monsanto?
what is it?
Monsanto.
That's like the
I
parent company of like Roundup, I believe, or it's
I
a lot of like
think-
those like
Well,
bug killer, weed killer.
yeah,
sprays.
but yeah, I think it's that one. But I think what the point of the TikTok was is that dandelions, and this is true, dandelions are really good for your heart. Like they're really good for you.
Really?
Like you're supposed to eat them. Like,
Really,
they're really good for you, and they obviously grow everywhere. And so the conspiracy is that since they own heart medicine, they also make weed killer, and they're like campaigning that like, oh no, like dandelions and weeds, they're like bad, like get rid of them, like so that they get more sick people. Do you guys believe in that? Do you guys believe in like that?
big
like-
pharma.
well, not just big pharma, but like that the medical industry is like pushing to get more sick people.
What was it? The name of that guy you sent me a TikTok of the comedian? What was his name? Who talked about this?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider went on an interview with I think rest in peace. What was his name? Rest in peace.
Larry King.
Larry King. There you go. Rest in peace. And he was talking about how like he doesn't feel like he's not an anti-vaxxer, but he does feel like it should be a choice whether or not you get the vaccine, just because in the past big pharma has always kind of had a lot of conspiracies where a lot of them, if you really look into them, are true. Like every year, I think like trillions of dollars are paid out to people who have like horrible reactions to like some medicine out there that's like well known, and it's usually swept on the rug. Like they pay to have it, like they don't talk about it, they don't say anything.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because I mean it's like that conspiracy that existed forever of why give somebody a cure when you can build them every step of the way until they die. And it's like I don't know, what do you guys think? Yeah, do you guys think that's true?
Well, just really quickly, because I just wanted to add to that
Mhm.
question. Do you guys think that's true? And I know I've seen recently, because I saw trending on Twitter recently that Howard Stern, also a fellow podcaster, was
The homie,
a
the homie.
radio host. He was saying that he's doing the take where that a lot of people have, where it's like fuck your freedoms, you should be required to get the vaccine.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to add on, like, where do you guys stand on that? Where do you guys like think of like, do you think it should be a choice, or do you think everybody should be mandated? And then like piggyback, because I feel like it's related. You know,
Mhm.
like, do you guys agree that like
Big pharma.
big pharma and medical industries are like pushing for people to be sick so that they can treat you? You know?
I don't know. I don't know if I would say like big pharma is pushing for you to be sick, but what is definitely the medical industry is a for-profit industry. You know, you just look at it costs you $3,000 to ride in an ambulance instead of it being like a federal thing where you just ride them for free because you need to go get you need to get whatever it needs to be taken care of at the hospital. So, you know, like the medical field has a long history of just like making sure that you're gonna be in here making these payments, and you're gonna go ahead and run this bill up, and so that's one thing that I know for a fact. It's not necessarily about like curing, but it's about like treating an illness. It's not about preventive care. It's about like care in the moment.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I think that's what a lot of what I guess what Joe Rogan's referring to when CNN's kind of like trying to demonize him, is that he's had a few doctors on, and again, I'm not speaking to their credentials, but just for
Yeah.
context, he was just saying that like he wonders why there's such an absence of like preventive care when it comes to COVID. Like they're not telling you to take your vitamins, like they're not telling you to like exercise or just do a bunch of things that like they would that normally really help you in preventing disease, and like yeah, so I wonder what that is.
I think we saw a lot of like that idea of preventive care, all the stuff that was just like named like go run, go take your vitamins, get out, and like make sure that you like when we first got into the pandemic and it was a lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was highlighted a lot just for like stress reasons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know what necessarily like taking vitamins would have to do with you having a respiratory disease, a respiratory infection like that. That's
Mhm.
brand new. But do your thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No, I feel you. I think it is weird though, because I mean, I
Mhm.
think the federal government should always like kind of promote that. I mean, at least now. I don't know about before, but at least now, while like COVID is everywhere, it should promote things that like help your immune system.
Mhm.
And I feel like because it doesn't, and instead, like what do you even see? Like just take the vaccine, right? I mean, maybe they're just doing that because that's the easy way out, Like everybody's like, I mean, most Americans are like obese people, and maybe they're like the easiest way, like just get a vaccine. Nobody's gonna like listen to you if you tell them to go work out or go like take a bunch of vitamins. Everybody's gonna be like, no, like the vaccine's free. Like just go get the vaccine. So maybe like companies aren't evil. The government, there's not a big evil company that's like trying to make people get the vaccine just because like they're making money off it, because the vaccine is free anyways. So
That's true.
So you're saying it's more of like the government like doesn't have a lot of faith in and say like people actually going to take care of themselves in that sense.
well, I mean, I've always thought about governing and like being president and how much, because I mean, people, even regular people, if you're just a regular citizen, people, or you see it on Twitter, people are like, I fucking hate people. I mean, me personally, I don't. I'm a people person, but I can admit that like a majority of people won't listen to anything you have to say.
Yeah.
Like you could show a bunch of evidence, you could show this, and it still would be like at least 40% of them listen, 60% don't.
Yeah.
And like, so when it comes to governing, and we kind of talked about this on a few episodes in the past, but I've always thought like, does our government hate us? And like or are they really looking out for us?
No, the government does hate us. If you are a marginalized, racialized person, the government actively hates you. They are killing people for like protecting like the earth. Indigenous people are like trying to stop pipelines. They out here killing black folks and brown folks every day with the police, which is an object of the state, object of the government. So, just to summarize your question real quick, but I don't know if it has to do with like, the vaccine rollout. Do they hate us for the vaccine rollout? That's a good question. They could have done it a lot better with like.
I feel you. Well, I think like I don't know. I guess like what you're trying to say is like, do you think the government is giving us the vaccine because they care about us? I think it's more of like they need our money, so they're like, get better already, like so that we can
so everything go back to normal.
Well, because it's I mean, whether you want to make that argument or not, it's true that we're literally a capital. Like we function off
money
of money. Like that's our thing. Like we function off business. So like if businesses aren't working, then like the country isn't working.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add on to that because I was like, that's always been the argument, right? That the reason they want us to get better is because our economy was like fucking, it was going down. It was trash, like we were suffering, like we're still suffering, like from everything like splurging and everything like being more expensive now. It's because like like we didn't anticipate that a lot of people were gonna like we were gonna open up and like a lot of people were just gonna go out and stuff. So it was like it was that one part, right? But you kind of want to think that like they're doing it for the good, right?
I feel you.
Patty with the fatty said, "Arm up, it's coming."
I guess he's talking about like a revolution.
Yeah, he's either talking about a revolution or he's talking about like new world order stuff. But like recently, I had been talking to one of my homies. Are you talking about that one of the Australian guys
Yeah.
said new world order?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I don't remember the full details, but it was like, was it a lady? Who is it? What's her like position? Like,
I know she's like a political, like
she's like
she
a
has
political
power. She
figure,
has
right?
power.
And they were like interviewing her, and she mentioned the New World Order, and everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
Do you think it was just a coincidence, or do you think it was just kind of like?
Well, I mean, I think sometimes when people say new world order, in terms of the government, at least I hope so. They mean like as during COVID, like you know, the new normal.
Yeah.
I think that's what they mean by the new world order, as in like the new world order, as in like things operate differently now because of COVID. Like I think that's what they mean. Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
They're not like
It's not like the
one
Illumina-
government.
the Illuminati are coming out.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
It's weird to think how life is now after this pandemic, or how it's kind of starting to be.
Yeah.
Because it's still like, COVID's still out there, but yet we're still like out here trying to live our lives.
Mm.
Like it's weird. It's weird now that you guys were talking about that. I just thought about it right now. And I was like, I don't know. It's just.
Well, I was gonna ask you really quick. What do you think
Mhm.
is like the biggest difference? Like, what do you notice that's like, wow, this is like the biggest, like the huge before and after? What do you notice that's like
Mask.
I keep thinking about the mask.
the
Yeah.
masks?
It's
Or
just like
how that's so divisive?
Oh yeah, because like now,
yeah.
now you can't even. You don't even know what people look like.
Yeah.
Like you.
mask fishing, bro.
Mask fishing?
Mask
Hell
Yeah,
fishing.
it exists though.
It exists?
It exists.
Oh,
yeah.
that's sad.
You've been mask fished?
Well, okay, because this is the thing. I thought about this, right? When we would go to the gym,
Mhm.
and it was always you had to wear a mask, right, at the gym.
Yeah.
And I remember we would always see like the regulars, like you would see like the same people who would go at the same time as you, or like
Mhm.
And there was this couple, and this girl, I would see her like every single time, and then the way I imagined her face, and then once they lifted like the mask thing, it wasn't the face I thought she had. Like I imagined a whole different person.
My sister's calling her ugly.
And no, I'm not saying, I never said that. And then same thing happened with my coworkers. Like we started with wearing masks, right? And I was like, okay, like this is what their face, like I only see half of it, right? The whole entire time. And then once the mask thing came off again, and I was like, damn, I was like, it's weird how my imagination makes up faces that don't exist.
So you think we should wear those high tech ones that they make now?
Oh, the
that
one
are
that's
like-
glass?
The one that are glass and
And-
like they have
oh,
speakers
oh,
and stuff.
But I
Yeah.
just think it's crazy, right? Like it's crazy that my mind does that. Like
Yeah.
I make up
agree.
faces to people and they don't even exist.
Mhm.
Like my coworker, I remember the first time I saw her face, she's also new. So like she barely came into like our department. And I remember she took off her mask, and I was like, "Damn, this is not what I imagined." I was like, in my head, like you're wearing your mask, right?
Mhm.
But in my head, I'm already seeing a different face. Like,
Mm.
and
Now,
I always think that's what's crazy about it.
quick question for you: Was
Yeah.
that reaction that you had positive or negative?
It was-
That's the question.
Oh well, I didn't have any
She's
like
literally-
positive.
She's literally saying
was
that
just
like every person that she's seen with a mask, the second they take it off, my sister's like, oh, everyone's uglier than I thought they were.
No,
That's
that's
facts.
not what I mean.
I like how you
no.
brought that up though. Like I think it's cool. Like you got to romanticize your own life. So like
Yeah.
I think that extra piece of wonder. Like,
I feel
damn, like you idealize.
It's a
what people's
privilege.
faces- what
No,
people's
yeah,
faces
I've always said that like I don't understand why people. Well, obviously I don't. I mean, I know why people don't like masks, but like I've always thought like I don't know. I feel cool when I wear it. I feel like a ninja, you know. Like
No,
you don't know.
I
what to do, like-
hate.
I
I
see
sweat
you.
so much under it, and like I'm
Really?
yeah.
Honestly, I agree with my sister. I don't like
why-
wearing the mask.
that's
I'll
why-
wear it. I'll wear
You
it.
don't like wearing
I'll
it?
wear
Yeah, I don't like wearing it.
I don't
yeah.
like wearing it
I-
either.
Yeah.
I like-
They're itchy. At least for me, they're really itchy, and then that's why like I've been breaking out.
You
a lot.
guys gotta
but-
invest in the cloth ones, the really soft ones.
I,
But
you know
even
what? The
then-
cloth ones I actually like a little bit more, but I still like would
even
prefer
then,
not to wear it.
even then, I can't breathe. Like sometimes if it goes in my nose.
Are you saying?
if I breathe in
so you're
and
saying
out.
you can't breathe with a mask on? They did studies
like-
how that isn't true. Nah, I'm just kidding. But
Have you seen? There's this ad. There's this ad that happens in TV when the Dodger game is on, and it's like a turtle thing. It's called turtle something, and it's like a thing so that if you have like the cough ones, you put it here, and that way you can breathe easier.
Really?
So
Yeah.
it's like a shell. You just
Yeah,
put
it's
on
like
your
a
face?
shell that you put, and then you put your mask on.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta invest in one of
You
those.
want a turtle shell?
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be funny as
Interesting.
fuck. I'd be like,
So like, but like going back to like the vaccine thing. So like, where do you guys stand? Are you guys a fuck your freedoms? You should get the vaccine, or do you think it should be a choice? Or are you like, no, vaccines are, they're gonna microchip us?
I feel like I always,
Micro-
I feel like I always tip, like I always, my opinion changes. Like I
Mhm.
always, like some days I'm like, nah, I feel like everybody should get it. Like the shit's mutating in the people who don't have the vaccine. Like it's the only way to truly end it. So far, like evidence has shown that it works. Like
Yeah.
it works more than it doesn't. But then other times somebody like I hate to say
Makes a
his
good
name.
argument.
Yeah, but somebody makes a good argument, and I'm like, damn. Honestly, okay, I understand that. Because today, when I was like, catching up on Joe Rogan and all that stuff with like the CNN and stuff, I was just thinking like, fuck, dude. Like, it's true that absolutes to me are, I guess, like I fear absolutes. I don't really. What I mean by that is like 100% people should do this, especially when it comes to like medical.
Mhm.
Like if like 100% of everybody in the population gets vaccinated, and like best case scenario nothing happens, that's cool. Worst case scenario, nah, like the vaccine was fucked up in a few years, everybody's fucked up. I'd be like, damn, well, I guess we shouldn't have made everybody get the vaccine.
Mhm.
And I guess that's what scares me, is that like if I
Mm.
in science, you always hear biodiversity is cool, right? Like that's why
Yeah.
you shouldn't clone crops, because then
Yeah.
if one disease comes that everybody's susceptible to, everybody dies.
Mhm.
So like I guess as of right now, I'd say like if you want to get it, if not, it's your choice.
So you're saying only a Sith deals in absolutes?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I've never actually seen the movie in full, but what do you
I
guys think?
know.
Are you guys
It's
what side are you guys on?
I don't know. I've always been on the side of like you should get vaccinated. Um cuz I mean, it's a fucking disease that's killing us. I mean, cuz a lot of people make the argument, right? Even the vaccine kills, but it's like the COVID has killed more people than what the vaccine has done,
Is that
right?
true? Like, I'm just asking. Is that
What?
true? Has the vaccine actually killed a few people? It
Some
has?
people, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
It's killed. Well, yeah, because it's vaccines. Some people
Mhm.
have allergic reactions to them, or
Yeah.
their body just
Okay.
reacts. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I've been for it more right now, just because of the like we're in a pandemic, and the only
Mhm.
way to kind of get rid of it
Mhm.
is through that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and also just growing up and being vaccinated, basically
Yeah.
like since childhood, like you have to get vaccinated,
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
thing. But at the same time, I do understand people who are scared because of our past with like government and
Yeah.
stuff, and like I understand that people get those allergic reactions and they're scared of how their body will react. So I guess I'm kind of in the same thing where
Yeah.
it's like,
You kind of
if
tip
you
you
want
kind
to,
of
yeah,
sway.
yeah, but I am more for like you should get vaccinated though.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
Sean?
about you, Sean?
You know, I'm very pro-vax. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
all the people out there that can and won't have like adverse reactions or like have a low immune system, go out there and get a vaccination.
Mhm.
I don't think it should be like an absolute like where it's mandated or anything like that, just because of like the history of like medical racism in
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
from like different times when they experimented or they practiced unethical medicine.
Mhm.
I don't think that's the case right now, but I understand that being a deterrent for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I would like for folks to have like real conversations instead of like, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. I listened to this person that was on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
gave me everything that I needed.
Yeah.
That's why I think the rollout should have been a lot better. So
Yeah.
we had like more medical professionals that are like inside the communities that they're working with. Go ahead and have like in-depth conversations, as well as like if the government really loved us, like what y'all were talking about earlier, they would be paying us to stay at the crib, and we would have a lot less and a lot lower of an infection rate.
Well, that's weird. I was talking to one of my friends recently, and he was like, "Do you think we're gonna go into lockdown?" And I don't know about you guys. I haven't really I haven't looked into the cases. I don't know if they're spiking or if they're stabilizing. I haven't really looked into it since I got my vaccine. Just being honest, because I'm like I'm chilling. But I told him I don't think so, because like economically, like we were talking about, like no way. Like imagine everything locks down again, people lose their jobs again, they have to put unemployment up again. Like the government is just gonna keep printing more money, and then inflation, and then they're like, no way. I mean, we're already getting fucked right now, like in terms of our economy. Like gas is going up, everything's going up, like
Yeah.
everything's way more expensive, and I'm
Things
like,
are
no.
running out.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we'll
Well,
go in lockdown?
Well, I have heard a lot of people say that by winter we'll be in lockdown because you know because
Really?
people keep
I've heard people
saying
say that. Yeah.
because
Really?
people are saying that because of kids going back to school
Oh.
and they're not vaccinated,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So they think that kids are gonna like be the ones right now, and especially plus
Mhm.
everyone else who isn't, because you know we've heard this is the
Mhm.
pandemic of the unvaccinated right now.
Mhm.
So there's that, right? And so people think, especially you know we've talked about how like winter usually has like a
Yeah.
splurge sometimes. So a lot of people do think that by like December
We're gonna be in
we're
lockdown
gonna be
again.
back. Yeah,
How
but
would
I don't know.
how would you guys react if we went into lockdown again?
Man, that should
Oh,
be dope. I love being that.
Are you an introvert?
Shoot, I highly move towards that area on the wavelength. You know, that's where I'm at most of the time. There's
Yeah.
times when I'm extroverted, like today.
What do you feel? That's cool. Do you feel like you became that way because of the pandemic, or you've always been that way?
Nah, I don't like people in general. I'm just.
Oh my God.
Nah, you know, I think I was more of like a one or two people type of person, not like a super
Mhm.
extroverted person
Okay.
in general.
I
feel
get
you.
that. How would you guys feel?
I don't know. It's hard to imagine because I don't know. Just I don't feel like it's gonna happen, and
Mhm.
maybe it's just because like I'm comfortable.
Boom! It cuts to us in
Yeah.
lockdown.
But
I'd be hurt.
well, because I saw that California's in another wave, but it's like way less than what it was. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna be a lot less.
I remember when it came out that we were like the least of like having like people who were hospitalized and
Yeah.
everything, and we were like, it's because everyone probably caught COVID or they're already
Yeah.
vaccinated,
Mhm.
like, and that's why we were so low at numbers.
Mhm.
But if there was another lockdown, I'd be sad, bro. I'd be like, wow, like we're here back again. I don't know, because for me, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed being out, and now I'm kind of like I became super lazy, and I'm just like I kind of don't. I just want to be home sometimes,
Yeah.
but at the same time I don't. Like I'm like no, I want to go
I
out. I want to
feel
see
you.
my friends. Like
Mhm.
I miss traveling every single time. You know, I would leave home like a
If-
lot.
If there was another lockdown, I'd probably just travel. I'd probably just go see the United States because I mean I have my vaccine. I don't care.
You're gonna
I'd
take one
probably
of
just
those retirement trips, just like you, just
Yeah.
like those old
Use
people.
the unemployment
I'd come
money.
back. I'd have like a full beard, long hair.
What do you guys think about how there's more medical professionals saying that people who don't have the vaccine should like basically not be like they should be rock bottom on priority?
Dude, yeah, did you hear about that Florida doctor who said that that he wasn't gonna treat anybody who got infected by COVID that didn't have the vaccine?
What do you guys think
Wait,
about that?
say that again.
So basically, what they're saying is like there's a lot of doctors who are saying that they're not going to treat people who could have got the vaccine and didn't, and then got sick and they need intensive care.
Like they're
Oh.
not gonna take.
They're
care
not
of
going to
them?
They're not
take
gonna
care
take
of
them at
them,
all.
or they're going to be rock
Damn.
bottom priority.
Damn.
Like because there's people who get it and like they're older or like they, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they actually like they did everything they could and they got it. So
Mhm.
what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's fair? Or do you think?
Damn.
It's mainly in Florida where I've been hearing it the most.
Mm.
Because Florida is wild though.
Yeah.
I see a lot of medical Twitter because I just be
Yeah.
following the homies.
Yeah.
But
Humble flex.
I understand like where the frustration is coming from. They've been fighting like a 2-year war at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
At this point, and
That
it's
is
like
true.
they're severely understaffed because the medical field isn't getting like funded very well in general, and so I still think it's a very unethical medical practice that to have that but I can't be like, oh, I can't see why they're mad.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
feel
reason
you.
why they should be mad
Mm.
right now. But I do feel like that goes against ethical medical
You think they
practice.
should?
It does
keep-
go
You
against,
think they
yeah.
should be professional and keep the emotions out? Like that's.
Oh no,
it's
I'm
the-
not saying that. Be mad, but you know what I'm saying. Like I still think people deserve health care regardless.
Yeah, regardless of what
You
they.
know what I mean?
I-
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
I
tell
understand.
nobody how to feel. Like you should definitely be mad. I'm not gonna tell you that because
Mhm.
I'd be mad as fuck if I were them. I'd be mad as hell.
No, yeah. Because it's true. Florida, like out of every other state, has been the one that's like consistently like, nah, we're getting fucked. Like we're getting hospitals overrun consistently.
Isn't it because like they're like refusing they're not in lockdown, there's no mask mandates, there's nothing over there, they just
Governors,
basically are like whatever.
Their governor's an ass.
Yeah, so I mean their government isn't helping out the the medical team over there. So
Mhm.
I guess
So,
yeah.
I wonder then.
DeSantis.
So is anything like affecting them?
do you mean?
Like their economy? Like they're still chilling.
Florida?
Yeah.
I think it's because they don't give a fuck. So everything's open either way. Everything's open 100%.
That's
Well, yeah,
where-
because Florida has they have a lot of things, right? They have a lot of like attractions
Mhm.
that like tourist attractions.
Disney.
So
hella beaches, like
Mhm.
Miami, they have
you know,
Disney World,
mhm.
Universal.
Universal.
That's where everybody goes after they get that BBL. Like that's the first stop. That's the first
Speaking of
stop. Is
BBL.
you got to go ahead and show it off.
Didn't you
Like
want to make
show
a PSA about BBLs?
I think I just wanted to tie it into the episode.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
it is.
Sean,
job.
Sean has a segment today.
Julie, would you get a BBL?
No.
What
Because
not?
you don't know how I'm gonna react to that.
You know, I
How is
finally figured I not figured out, but I finally saw why they're so risky.
Oh,
or
why?
they're so
Why?
dangerous. So apparently there's like a really huge like not artery, but like there's a lot of like tissue there that's really important for like blood flow. And so it's really risky, obviously, because if you tamper with that, then there goes your like blood flow. So
well, and also because I've always seen a lot of people who get BBLs eventually have to get them off. Like
Really?
yeah,
Really?
like
I didn't know that.
because it could possibly like already like cause cancer at this point.
Damn,
Like
really?
that's
I
why
didn't know
a lot of them like if they a lot of them se pasan, you know, like so then they have to get some out or all of it out. So it's kind of like, bro, you're paying how much money to get it to then eventually just get it taken out.
Okay, but what if
Like-
I came to you and I was like, Julie, as a gift for your birthday, I got you a BBL and I'm paying for it full price.
No. What?
I'd be like, Julie, like you have no idea
What's-
how
what's-
hard it was to set this up.
what's the thing with BBLs though? Like, are they like more natural looking?
No, they're not.
No.
They're not more natural.
They, you can tell when you see a BBL. But
So then why do everybody love them so much?
Because the thing is fat now.
It's
'Cause
fat.
It's just big, yeah.
It's people who with low self-esteem.
What do the Kardashians have? They do the
have
thing
everything.
where they like
They have everything.
well, don't they get like
Liposuction.
no disrespect or whatever, but like don't they like what they do is they get fat from other places and they stick it in their butt.
Isn't that a BBL?
That's what a BBL is.
It's the same thing though.
What's the difference between BBL?
Yeah.
Then?
Some BBLs like you just put like silicone, like
Yeah.
a silicone sack.
And other ones you
Oh.
get fat from
Yeah.
like your stomach and put it on your butt.
That's like a more safe procedure than getting like the silicone, because like the silicone could bust or it could turn.
Yeah.
And then you have like if you've ever seen those pictures of like some people that
Yeah.
have like that, like one cheek is actually rounded like a
Yeah.
regular butt,
Yeah.
and then the other one is like flat, and it's because the silicone had turned
It
over.
flipped.
It flipped.
Damn.
I knew
Damn.
that, bro. No, it was funny because on Twitter I saw this picture of someone with fake boobs and when they're dead in their coffin, and it's just a skeleton with like plastic like on top.
Damn.
But I think it was a joke. But I don't know if it was real. But it's just
Does
like
plastic? No, because plastic takes like hundreds of years.
They
to,
don't take them
yeah.
out when you pass. Like if you have them,
They don't
like,
take 'em out.
It's disrespectful, bro.
Really?
I think
Because
Interesting.
that's
I
you
think
in your
they do.
natural state now.
I think they do when you go to like a morgue or a mortuary.
Yeah.
Like, they
Oh,
gotta
really?
Take out like some of these foreign objects and stuff. you know, stuff
foreign
like-
objects.
I mean,
I'm just assuming. I don't know.
but let me just say this real quick. This is not to hate on anybody that gets beauty augmentation.
Mm.
Do what you need to do to make yourself happy.
Mm.
People go to the gym to fight depression and
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
happy. If you want to go ahead and get yourself some beauty augmentation, do that.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Be safe, bro. Be safe.
But remember, you're always perfect as you are. There's nothing wrong with you.
I'm finna get a couple ribs taken out just so I can.
Would you get those abs? Have you seen it? That some guys get the fake
Doesn't
abs.
Drake have them?
Supposedly.
A lot of surgeons genuinely say that Drake has it. Like he has
He has fake
That's
abs.
why he got all the tattoos now to cover up the scar.
The
Yeah, his Chipotle tattoos.
Bro, you know what's always like gross to me is those dudes who inject oil into their arms to look fake buff,
Oh, yeah.
and they just basically have lumps in their arms.
It's mainly like in India, though. No,
It's just I like, oh my god.
I
like,
watched a Discovery Channel documentary on that shit. Like, 5 years ago, and I was like, bro, this guy's wild. He looks like Popeye, but he's not lifting nothing.
Yeah.
You can't lift nothing with that. Like you're like, I just feel like his arm might explode at any time.
It looks,
Damn.
yeah.
I think I heard that like some people who do it severely, they have to get amputated. Like they have
Yeah.
to get their arms amputated.
Ugh.
Then what's the point? Like,
It's not worth it.
yeah, like it doesn't even make sense.
Injecting oil into yourself. You know, speaking of which, speaking of like body like positivity and all that stuff, I've been trying to get this topic on the
Oh
show
my
for a
God.
while.
I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
So I wanted to talk about
Two.
fat phobia. Oh yeah, you can put two.
What happened?
Too hot for TV.
I guess this is pretty too hot for TV. But
It's back. It's back.
so this is, I feel like it fits it to our podcast. So I've been seeing a lot of heavier set people
Mhm.
on TikTok and all that stuff, and I've sent them to you a lot. And if you look at their comments, oh my god, are they brutal? They're just riddled with people like going in on these people.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just wanted to talk about that. Like, what do you guys think about fat phobia? Like, because I know for a lot of people, they genuinely say they are fat phobic. Like, have you seen the TikToks where they're like, I am fat phobic, that's why I go to the gym? You know what I mean? So
Okay. Well, cause like I was telling you this. I was like, I understand that. Like, I understand the argument that like being fat is like unhealthy. You know, especially if you're morbidly obese. You know,
Mhm.
it's like harmful for your health. It's meant to causes chemical imbalances in your brain because you know how much fast food you're eating.
Yeah.
But I also feel like people forget that fat people are human. Like
they have,
like
they're still
they still have
people.
feelings. Like
Yeah.
some people go in, they're like, oh my god, like I don't know. I can't even think. I can't even. There's so much.
There's this TikTok. I sent it to you. It's this. There's this girl, and she does. She makes coffee. Like, her thing is like coffee. Like, she'll be like, oh, like, have you tried this at Starbucks? I'll show you how to make it at home. And that's it. It's just pretty like wholesome content. She's just making coffee, and she's a heavier set woman. And she made something about, it was she was making a strawberry acai at home. She was like, you can use water, you can use lemonade, but I like to use lemonade. And the comments were like, yeah, of course you like to use lemonade, you should drink more water. Like, and then I remember one of the comments was like, this is literally a coffee and drink channel. What do you expect? Like, she's just making drinks. Like, leave her alone. And like, yeah, like, oh my god, like, I don't understand it. Like, I guess I understand that like, yeah, also it's unhealthy, but I agree, like, people have feelings.
Yeah.
Like some people genuinely just forget that, like, it's a, you know, if it was easy to like change your habits, everybody would do it, but you know, it's hard.
It reminds me of Lizzo. I don't know if you guys heard when they like, well, I mean,
made
she's
her
always
cry?
been like,
When's it never happening to Lizzo?
yeah,
Yeah,
because like
they go
she's
in on
very,
her.
because she's very like body positive. Like, she knows she's a big girl.
She's
you know?
confident. Like,
Yeah,
that's it.
but she's confident in her body, and she likes what she has.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and especially on Instagram, like, she's always like showing it off. You know,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like, bro, like, it's her body. Like,
Yeah.
let her like let her live in it. Because then they always compare it to like what is it, Sweetie? Or,
Yeah.
and how she eats like a whole bunch of junk food.
Ew.
And,
Okay,
like-
first of all,
First
of all,
what
have you
Sweetie
guys
eats?
seen
Oh my god.
what Sweetie eats? Fucking disgusting.
and people don't criticize her for it, right?
Not,
Like,
not
or
once.
not
yeah.
as much as like
Yeah.
they would criticize if
They
if
don't say
Lizzo
those
were to eat like a burger,
Yeah.
a regular burger,
Yeah.
compared to Sweetie eating like a mixture of like a
Yeah.
burger.
The
Like-
the worst thing I've seen like people say about Sweetie is just like, man, this shit is nasty. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the fact that like this is gonna clog your arteries and
Yeah.
kill you
Yeah.
in 2 weeks just because you're eating this like
Yeah.
morbid
Compared
No,
to-
yeah,
food.
they say that to Lizzo like all
All
the
the
time.
time.
They made her
Yeah.
cry, no?
Yeah,
Like,
they made her cry. Yeah.
I'm like, she could really just be
Like
eating,
recently,
a-
they made her cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah,
What was it
recently.
though?
I think they were just
They were just body shaming.
they were
her
just body
again.
shaming her and
Yeah.
basically saying like, well, because I know like she'll often like, she's like, anyway, her TikTok is just like, oh, just
Mhm.
what she's doing. Like, sometimes she'll just have food
Mhm.
and like, yeah, it'll be like, oh, like, you're not gonna be around for much longer eating that, or the way you look, you know what I mean? It's
Yikes.
like really mean and dark shit.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, it's just
fat phobia is just a really like a lot of people don't even acknowledge that it's a real thing and that it's
Yeah.
not just like it doesn't just stop at like folks being like, oh yes, I think you're a disgusting person because you are like heavier than me.
Yeah.
It moves into the medical field and like how doctors will treat you and like they'll
Yeah.
automatically diagnose you with like, oh, the problems that you're feeling right now aren't aren't anything serious. You just need to lose some weight, and then like people later get diagnosed with like really with really serious medical conditions that could have been diagnosed when they first went there, instead of you know what, you should just lose weight, and it had nothing to do with their weight. And just it's so crazy because like fat phobia, when you really think about it, it's just lack of empathy for humans. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting to me to observe how people are really open about disliking fat people. And forgive me if I'm using wordage that is like
you said
like-
fat people.
like
No, I mean
being I
being
don't
fat is a thing. Like it's,
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, forgive me if I'm using something that's
Like
I'm
offensive?
just saying
Oh,
it
yeah,
like,
yeah. You're cool, bro.
but I don't know, I just find it really interesting how people are so open about the like literal hate for it, like
Yeah.
Have y'all seen the thing about like people equating like fat phobia to like people being fat phobic to one person to skinny shaming another person? Like people have been trying to equate that, and like it's just as bad when you tell me that I'm like so skinny that I need to eat something that is when I go ahead and like tell you that you're gonna die because you're fat, and I'm like, what? That's not the you are not.
I've
These
heard-
are not the same thing.
I don't know.
heard about
I don't know because
have you, what's interesting though, sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
go ahead, go ahead.
to see what I know what you're talking about, but I've also seen where people dislike the promoting that being heavier set is pretty. Like, have you seen where they compare the comments on TikTok, where it's like it's a heavier set girl and everybody in the comments is like, you're so beautiful, I want to be like you. But when it's a really skinny girl and she's not even talking about her weight, everybody's like, you're literally gross, you're disgusting.
you're
that.
like, oh my god, like you really want to like you, why don't you wear clothes that fit you or something?
yeah,
like that.
you know what I mean? Like,
I know what he's talking about. Yeah,
yeah, which is
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, cause I know somebody personally that I know. I remember she's skinny, and I remember she's always like been bombarded with people telling her that she's skinny and like she needs to eat more and that like she's weak.
Yeah.
And then she like it really offends her, and like I've seen her like actually like cry because of it. So I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. Comparing, well, one thing comparing like sadness is always kind of fucked up.
yeah.
But like, it is weird. Like I don't know. Like, I guess body shaming is body shaming.
No,
Right?
yeah. I guess
Yeah.
maybe what I'm trying to say is that like it's interesting that there's like so much body shaming.
Yeah.
Like, and I never like, I don't know. It's weird how people are so open about the hate. You know what I mean?
There's guy body shaming too.
There is.
Describe
It
that.
goes
What's it
both
like?
ways.
It's like it. No, it's because I saw one yesterday. It was a girl saying, it's that TikTok where she's like,
Is it like
I like you, have a cupcake. I like you, have a cupcake. Ew. Yeah. And it was a girl saying that she doesn't like dudes who are circumcised. No, who are uncircumcised. We're not circumcised. Who have their hood on, I guess you could say.
They got the hoodie
and
on.
and everybody in the comments were like, this is literally body shaming. Like it's crazy that it never goes both ways.
Do you think
It
that
goes both ways so many times because dudes will talk about like women's body parts like unsolicited.
yeah.
So
They're like
they
shaved,
should
Bro,
shave.
shaved or not shaved.
Dude, when we were at SummerSlam, for those of you who don't know,
Oh, yeah.
for those of you who don't know, the Primos Chidos
I
went to
was so
SummerSlam.
uncomfortable, bro.
And they have a women's match.
Yeah, it was Charlotte Flair and
Nikki
Riley?
Cross
and
and
Riley?
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
I was
triple
forgetting.
threat.
and the guys behind us were
Were-
literally
oh
talking.
my
We're
God.
literally talking about them like oh my god, look at her titties. Like oh my god, I just want to put my head between her titties.
They kept
And-
yelling like kiss, kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like they should just scissor and like out loud
Like yelling it.
yeah, everyone around and
I
low
remember-
key and I don't mean to be offensive, but low key like loser energy because
Me-
I'm like
You should totally be offensive to them. Like, what is the? What is
You
the
could
point
tell
of
they
that?
were
like-
drunk and shit. And me and
Yeah,
Steve
they
were
were drunk.
talking about how like I remember I was like some middle schooler shit. Like why would you say that?
well,
Like
because
grow
I
up.
don't,
You know?
I feel like bro, you're not watching this at home and your fucking TV with your friends. Like you're watching this in a whole stadium full of like family, women, and like regardless, like why are you yelling this out?
I wasn't
Like
even,
for everyone to hear.
I remember I wasn't even enjoying the match anymore.
Yeah,
I was
low-key,
like,
it
bro.
ruined
it. It ruined it.
It did.
Yeah.
I was like, bro.
And that's why you should. That's why you should say that with like total offense. Be like, yeah, fuck them.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally, like I don't like literally like I feel like you've never interacted with like a woman in your life to be yelling this out.
Yeah.
It's very small dick energy.
It is. It really was.
People would say that's body shaming, which is interesting. What do you think about that?
oh, like
Where people saying that
like
or-
sizes.
well, I mean,
where
well, no,
people
like
are like dudes can't control that, and some dudes are really insecure about it. So why would you say that having a small dick is
That's
really
true.
bad?
You see, it goes.
Mm.
You see,
So it goes,
this is
never
the-
goes
this
both
is-
ways.
It never goes both ways.
What do you guys think about that?
Goes
Do you guys
Well,
think
it's 'cause
that's
it's-
valid?
I think it goes back to like kind of like we talked about this, how like women have like really fought to be where they are in terms of like respect.
Uh-huh.
They're not all the way there, but like feminism movements, like there's been two waves now.
Mhm.
But for men, it's always been the same since like the 1900s.
Mhm.
And it's like men are strong, like men shouldn't cry, like blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
So because of that, like we've never really like we haven't moved up in
There's
terms
no-
of like
You say we need a meninist movement?
no. But I'm saying like stuff like that, like small dick energy, like that's just like common. Like you just talk about it. Like it's like, or it's like trying to think. What's another example of like of the menaced movement not being seen?
Oh, like I don't know. I honestly
we were talking about one deeply. I remember you and me were like, I'm trying to
there's
remember.
well, if we're gonna talk about like how people are like, well, I know.
This is too hot for TV. Remember?
Yeah,
this is too hot for
you
TV.
can
Well,
say
I'm
whatever
trying.
you
I'm
want.
trying to think of like what genuinely is like people say is like that's if it was a woman they would never say this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
What
Oh,
trying
I'm trying to think.
Trying to think.
Wait, I feel
Um,
wait.
Damn.
all the time that you they just had one. It was like that NBA player who it was a Sacramento NBA player who just I guess his baby moms took him
Oh,
in
yeah, we were
and
talking
everything,
about that.
and apparently like she was talking to him when he was like hella young, and she's
Yeah.
like 8 to like 10 years older, and like
Mhm.
met him
Oh,
when he was
that's-
18, had no like life experience.
That's
and,
a
like,
thing.
You see this,
groomed him,
yeah.
really groomed him. From
Yeah.
People say
where
that
he
men
was.
can't get groomed, or like
Oh,
people don't
yeah.
acknowledge when
Mhm.
men get groomed. You know,
Oh yeah.
there's stuff like
But that
that.
it was way more women sticking up for that man than it was men.
No,
You know,
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
you
A lot
know,
of dudes would be
and it's,
like,
you know,
bro,
it's a
why are you
lot of-
complaining, bro? Like, you know what I
I
mean?
saw a tweet recently where it's this guy who's like, oh, like I love my girlfriend, like ride or die. This isn't what he said exactly,
Yeah.
but he said
Uh-huh.
basically like summarize it, like I love my girlfriend, like she's so sweet to me, like blah blah. She tweeted that, and then like a fuck ton of people subtweeted him, or no, quote tweeted him, and they're like loser bitch, like she's probably fucking someone else, and they had like 74K like likes, and everybody's like, damn, like.
He's just happy.
It's because like it relates to what I was saying. Like
Mhm.
it's one of those things where like men like to be tender, to be publicly like vulnerable
Mhm.
is not really accepted.
I
Yeah.
mean, those are like all the stuff that's like holding men back are like patriarchal values, which like
Mhm.
men, you know, we may have not created it, you know, us in our age or whatever, but we like
We're stuck with
it's-
it.
we uphold it in
Yeah.
different areas of our
Yeah.
lives, and so it takes a lot to go ahead and
Yeah.
like break that down in like everyday interactions, also like systemic interactions, you know. So it's not one thing that's gonna change overnight, but it's like one of those
Yeah.
things that, you know, has to be tackled generation.
You see, bro, let it out.
So-
Tell me
so-
something. No,
so-
tell me something. Tell me something vulnerable right now,
Vulnerable?
and I won't judge
say
you.
say something to Stevie right now.
Yeah.
And,
Like, that's vulnerable?
Yeah.
That's not
Tell
that's
him-
not
tell
in the
him-
patriarch.
Tell him you love him.
You know what's
see?
interesting?
It
What's,
can't
interest-
happen. It
what's
can't
interesting
happen.
about that is like I do like Steve's the homie. I've known him.
Okay, but say it.
no,
Say it to
but I know, but
him.
what
No,
I'm-
let him speak.
But what I'm saying is like, it's not that I don't love Steve. I do like, but because I've known
what's
him.
so funny?
I've literally known him since I was like 5, like
Okay.
literally my
Mhm.
entire life.
Yes.
And anyone else, I would have zero problem like that saying it. But it's weird that there's that gut reaction of like, like you know what I mean? Like,
But it feels like a
okay,
joke sometimes. when you
not
say
like
it.
you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's interesting that like if
It's like instilled in us.
it's
Like,
like
it's almost
I
like
can't like there's that
We're not wired
knee-jerk
that
reaction
way.
of like what bro you tell this dude you love him.
That's what we have to
Okay.
fight, though. That's what
Yeah,
we're
that's
You know,
trying to
yeah,
do.
no, yeah, you do have to
Yeah.
fight it, but I'm just saying, like, it's interesting. Like, I don't know where I got that.
That's why
Like,
you
it
gotta
just
look your
everybody
homies-
has it.
That's why you gotta look your homies in the eye and tell them you love them.
Mhm.
it's
You
because
know?
it's
Kiss your homies goodnight.
and
I kiss you in your forehead.
it's because it comes out only
And
when
that cranium.
it comes out when it's like a super like
when you
It's
guys
like-
are vulnerable.
it's like when something is in the need, like there's
Mhm.
problems in the life, and like you get me, like it's like it doesn't come out unless like it's like you guys are talking about some serious shit.
Yeah,
And
like
it's
if,
like,
like
damn.
if Steve was going through it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, bro.
I
Or like
feel
if we were fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get drunk, then feelings come out. The patriarchy falls, the wall falls down.
The walls crumble.
Yeah.
I think like one thing that, you know, is always interesting about when people bring that up, like, you know, if he was going through something and I had to console him, I would do that. But it's like I think we would all be in like better positions if we just like. I hate when people are like normalize this, normalize that. But
Yeah.
like if we just became accustomed just to like
Just do
it's
it
just
before
a
it needs
regular
to happen.
it's a
Yeah.
regular fucking
Always tell
Wednesday.
people, you know,
It's a regular fucking Wednesday. I just
Yeah.
wanted to tell you I love you.
Yeah.
You know.
it's like big pharma, right? Where preventive care.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
It comes back around.
I mean, for real, it is though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we need 8 hugs a day. They say for
Yeah.
like you
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
they
Is that
say
a
we
thing?
need 8 hugs a day for like real like
Really?
comfort as a human being.
We'll have a group hug after this.
8 hugs a day. Wow.
COVID,
I don't know if I get
COVID.
like
Oh, yeah,
8
COVID, never
hugs a
mind.
week.
You see, that's why everybody's
But see,
sad.
that's why everyone's sad.
No, that's
Because
facts,
nobody's gotten
why everybody's
hugs. You
sad.
know, we've all been in lockdown.
Nobody
Nobody
gets,
wants to.
nobody gets any besitos.
Nobody gets any besitos.
No,
We're-
because COVID, saliva.
We're very
I'm
social
vaccinated.
species. I'm vaccinated.
You don't
Go ahead.
want- You don't want someone to kiss you on your forehead?
If anybody who's listening, either now, either live or in the future, wants a besito from Brandon, he's got the vaccine.
He's
If
kissing
the-
the
If the
mic.
vaccine was held in kisses, that would be wild. That would
Wow.
be like, who would-
Imagine, yeah, the cure for COVID, guys.
Bro,
is
isn't
just
it?
hugs and kisses.
Isn't kissing interesting? Like, where'd that come from? Like a bunch of Neanderthals were like, and it just hit. They were like, yo,
It
do that,
just hit.
do that again, bro.
Do that again?
Not you though, bro. like,
Wait, something about you? Nah,
Not you.
Not you. I saw you eating that fucking goat outside.
like they didn't let the bros get. It started way back when. I wonder who got the first besito.
Who got the first kiss?
Who got the first besito?
That is crazy, huh?
What about the first hug?
I feel like that's a little more like natural. You know, like how cats like rub up on each other and stuff like that. It's more like, oh, of course, like hugs, and you get cradled as a baby. So it seems a little more like I see where that kind of comes from. But
You
just
wanna
going up to somebody and like,
I can kind of see. I like in my mind. I have like an idea of like where kisses came from, and it's just like if you look at like most animals that walk
How they
on
lick
4
each other?
legs, like they're mouth centric. Like that works as their hands basically. So like if you just like look at like a deer. You know, being affectionate to another deer, you're probably like, "Wow, that shit looks pretty cool." Like they show each other,
oh,
they
so you
fuck
think
with each other
you
like
think
that.
some cavemen were like, we should try that.
I wouldn't
Why
be
do they do that?
surprised. That'd
Well,
be
because
a-
like I mean, I guess if I had to really think about it, you know how like cats lick like their baby
Yeah.
cats. I'm guessing
Mm.
maybe it comes from like
And-
licking each other.
I
But
think it might be more instinct than anything. I think we might just be like,
you think we were just
downplaying
programmed to
it.
get some besitos?
I honestly do think so. Like I think it was instinctual. I think that's like
Yeah?
an instinctual part of like human experience.
Interesting.
All you're gonna hear is Brandon kissing the mic.
That's interesting.
Y'all
That's
gotta
really
do like
interesting.
a soundbite.
Oh
where
my
you just go
God.
ahead and press the button and it's Brandon
Aw.
kissing the mic.
Patty
Patty
with the
with
fatty
fatties.
said, "I've only received 10 hugs in my lifetime." Well, you know what, bro?
I'll give you one next time I see you. I'll give you one.
Exactly. You're getting ones from the Primos Chidos.
It's
Yeah.
all
On the-
right, bro. When he told me you need 8 hugs a day, I was like, damn, I don't be getting hugs.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't get hugs.
And I like hugs. I like hugs.
Hugs are nice,
I
dude.
like hugs.
Have you ever met somebody who has a nice hug form?
Yeah.
You be feeling safe, like safe. There's no other word but
Every
safe.
time I say bye to my friends, I hug them and I give them a little squeeze
Yeah, I'm a tight hugger.
so they can remember me.
I give it to 'em. The worst one where the hug almost made it worse is when they give you the little
side,
tap.
the side hugs.
Where they give you
Oh, it's that. Or it's like,
Well, I mean, I've always had a pet peeve since I was younger about people patting my back because my brother used to always do it, and it was always kind of like a sneak diss. He'd always be like, and I'm like, so anytime somebody hugs me and pats my back, I'm just like, you only angered me.
why, bro? It's programmed into you, bro. Do
I
you
remember-
feel submissive and breathable?
Do you remember I used to-
Huh?
Do you remember I didn't like that when I was a kid
What?
when people would tap my back?
I didn't. I honestly before I didn't like hugs either.
Really?
hugs. I didn't like people getting in my personal space.
Wow.
So I was just like,
interesting.
I was just always awkward hugger. So that's why I hated like hugging people.
Patty with the fatty said we gotta give him a hug and a besito.
All right, kiss him on the
you
forehead.
Kiss you on your forehead.
I'll kiss you on
that
your forehead.
cranium, that football
cranium.
helmet. Have you- who is it that says it?
Don't.
Where he says it about Rihanna? Oh, I'd love that forehead. That
Oh,
big old
yeah.
cranium.
Hey,
Kiss
shout
you on
outs-
your forehead.
kiss
That
you on your
football
forehead.
helmet.
Shout out to all the girls with big foreheads because they really be showing out with the prettiness. Like it's really a fact.
A 5 head, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fire,
Where the hairline starts right here.
man.
But them hugs, man, them hugs. Like I knew this. Let me tell you, one time I knew somebody had like the best hug in the game. I was talking to this one girl I used to see at this convenience store I used to go to, and we met up for like one of her lunch breaks because I was trying to spit game. She was like, "Can we hug right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm down for a hug." You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there hype as hell. She gave me that hug, and it was the best hug I ever felt in my life. I was sprung.
Wow.
She got you.
She
got you.
She got me.
She was like, got him.
She got me heavy. She then ghosted me and threw me away. But I was like, that hug is Hall of Fame. Like I don't even
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
She read you with that hug.
She
read
me
you.
with that hug.
You floated home that day.
No, yeah, I don't mean like I don't get like how do you do that? I mean like I don't get like how do you start that? Like where you know how people are like, oh, I always hug my friends and tell them I love them and I kiss them and all that stuff. I'm like, how do I feel like if I try that, I'd be like, like bye.
I think the most beginner one is just bring it in.
Bring it in here, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, the
That's
white
just-
guy. Bring
I
it
always
in, bud.
I always just go for it, especially like whenever I'm drinking with my friends and like they're leaving. I was like, they're fucked up, so I'm gonna go for a hug, and they always give me a strong one. Especially one of my homies, Izzy, because he's way taller than me. I'd be feeling like there's a whole blanket over me.
Your face be in the middle of his pecs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like this is cool. I saw a TikTok that was like, do you ever act fake gay with your homies, but then catch feelings for real?
Oh my god.
Well, it looks like we're out of time, guys.
Well, that was a great show. We talked about a lot of great things, and remember, guys, to always give your friends some hugs and some besitos.
Yes, sir.
How much was the average again?
You need 8 hugs a day.
There you go, young.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week.
And remember, you guys.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
See y'all next time.
I wonder if Patrick's still on live. You still there, Patrick?
Patrick, I know you're still on.
Patrick,
the
type
YouTube
something
live.
before we have to end the live.
Yeah, type something before
Patrick,
we have to live. It better be a banger.
Patrick,
Better be a
please.
banger.
Let's go, Patty.
I'll give them
Patty,
10 seconds.
you have 10,
9,
9,
Let's go,
Eight.
baby.
7, 6, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
I'm
sorry,
Disappointing.
Disappointed.
In the
Damn.
regulation.
And then, I thought it was gonna be
I
a
thought it
buzzer
was gonna-
beater.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was gonna be a buzzer beater.
I thought he was gonna clutch the game.
Bye, you
Boo,
two.
Bye,
bye.
YouTube.
Deuces.